Morning, how you all? Welcome to Hollywood Bets Kenilworth. We start today, this Wednesday race meeting, where we take a break from Durbanville for now and just back at the Kenilworth race meeting. The 8 races on the go here, and trust all is good. We have some social media opportunity for you. At to Wait to Win is our handle, or otherwise we're on WhatsApp. There's our number on screen. Send your name and email address, and our admin department will be in touch with you. And we are, of course, also on YouTube. If you don't happen to watch the show on 4 Racing TV or 240 because you happen to be at work or something else, you can always catch up on 240. I beg your pardon, on YouTube, it's always there. Daryl Marie won the competition yesterday, Hollywood Bets Tipsters competition. So he hit the front for Waiter to Win, so we're very happy with him. And Darren Burrows is sort of in the top 10, I think, or thereabouts. So you boys are making steady progress, which is good to see.
Yeah, I didn't think I tipped that well yesterday, and I still got my head in front, Clive.
It's an interesting competition.
Pleasant surprise.
So some tipped one winner, and one, like in your case, you win it, and then if you tip 5 winners, it's all point related, yes, depending on your odds and all that. But it's lovely incentive. It's good. It's nice to get the camaraderie going amongst all the tipsters in South Africa, which is lovely, and the presenters and colleagues and everybody else. Right, let's get on to the first. We're going to back the first race. Darren Burrows. We need to find out about Peter Muscat's horse, who's, I think, the favourite last time I had a look, Duke of Rock, 2-1. I'm quite surprised Peter Muscat's still in Cape Town, to be honest, Mr. Burrows. I would have thought all his horses had gone to Durban by now for the season.
Yes, I think this horse was with the Eric Sands stable for a while in Cape Town. And it's obviously heading to Durban after this race. That's what I hear. The talk is strong. Expected to go very close, if not win by 2 lengths. And his debut performance was very eye-catching. Just given a hand ride on debut, just to show him what it's all about. And he absolutely took off the final 200 meters. He hasn't been seen since August 2022. But the talk is strong, and it's not a strong field. So I'm going to say Duke of Rock, have a small bet to open the meeting.
Okay, not a strong field. You're quite bullish about it. Whilst it's been a long time, De Garten, Darker and Stanley Park were 2 horses that came from there and won. Interestingly enough, there's another horse called Global Path that actually hasn't come from that form line and run yet. But Duke of Rock did get close enough to Slim Yanni. And the horse to beat or not, in your case?
Yeah, Claude, the concern has to be the lengthy layoff. I can only go on what the comment is in the front of the book, and it says may need. But he certainly did catch the eye on debut. He was doing his best work late, and he ran a cracker. I think an improver in the race has to be number 10, Mohandas. 3rd run after arrest, Clyde. They're bringing him right back in trip, back up the straight. I had a look at his family. The dam sprinted, all his siblings sprinted. I think we're going to see improvement from number 10. And then number 1, Logistical. I know Richard Free opted for number 14, who comes out. But this horse has shown glimpses of form and ability. He's been rested and gelded. And if that operation has brought him on, I can see him improving. So I don't know. The favourites, if he's fits in well, I think he could take some beating, but I played the safe route.
Yeah. Okay, listen, it's a maiden class field, so it's those horses when you see them that have been around a long time, how many runs they've had, all that. I think you prefer to be with those that are lightly raced. They seem to be the most or the best improvers. So there's an interesting horse in here in terms of Peter Muscat. Is it going to be him, or will Candice Bass show up with lunch money? Even Vaughan Marshall got Aspect, and then this horse of Lucinda's only had a run. So let's see how this all plays up. We've got bipots now. It starts race 1. Here we go. We'll put them up for you. It starts with Darren Burrows, where he bankers the 11 Duke of Rock, and then a lot of horses after that. So he's obviously made the card quite a competitive card. He doesn't find it too easy, and a 324 rand spend from his side. Remember what you can do in terms of your phone, just camera mode. Go on there, scan that code, takes you straight to the site, and you place your bet. And the same thing in Daryl Marie's case. Well, he's not happy about the first race at all. He's hoping for a massive result, obviously, by all those horses. He too has not found any bankers in his bipot and is spending 576 rand. Race number 2 on the cards, a class 4 over 1200 metres. Market has got Swift Action top of the boards at 3-1, favourite. Number 7, Fort Red, is at 7-2, second favourite. And 5, Poltergeist is trading at 4-1. 6, Winter Pearl this morning was at 5s. It's 11-2 about 1 Transact. We might as well quote all of them. 7-1, 2 Charlie Malone, and the other one, the outsider, number 3 Persistent, is a 14-1 shot. All runners quoted, Darren, 3-1 the field.
Yes, Clyde, it is competitive, but I like a bit of Winter Pearl. Now, this horse has dropped down to a 64. His last run with the blinkers removed, he just showed that come on look about him. And I think he's coming on the right way to be very competitive in this lineup. Now, the obvious runner is Swift Action. He's always right on top of them, and he should run another honest race. He could get his head in front. Obvious danger, Fort Red. Keegan DeMella, but his rating is at his peak. So I'm going 6 to beat 4.
Yeah, maybe the 6 is the right also, Winter Pearl. I see Swift Action, the form line, totally dead.
Yes, 6 runners, 6 unplaced in their next start.
That's a worry.
That's a big concern, Clyde. But that was a classified stakes, if I'm not mistaken, and they generally favour the fairer sex. So he wasn't extremely well treated in that event, but he's ultra consistent, Clyde. If you go back to the USA's Hope run, he does hold a few on that run. The finish was focused towards the inside, and he was drawn towards the inside. So I think a horse like number 2, Charlie Malone, if you go back to that run, he's 3 kilograms better off for a 3-length beating. I think that puts him right up there. And in his latest 2 starts, he's been desperately unlucky. He should have certainly finished closer on both occasions. So I'm going to say the value in the race has to be number 2, Charlie Malone. But expect another bold showing from the 4, Swift Action, Clyde.
Okay. Interesting. Darren Burrows going with this horse of Ricky Mangards. Okay, let's put up. What have we got? Place accumulators. Let's go. Not an easy one. Daryl going 2 and 4 here. Charlie Malone and Swift Action by 1 and 9, by 4 and 7, by 2, 5, 8, by 1, 2, 4. Bankers 4 later on in his place accumulator. That's Rio Carrari says that'll run a place, and then 1 and 4 at the back. So it's a 144 rand place accumulator. Open maiden this is, it's over 1600 metres, and the market has got Prometheus top of the boards, number 10 on the card. Listening to Adele on Vaughan Marshall's interviews about the race, seem to be fairly bullish about Prometheus here at 5-2-1. 8 Laughing William is the second choice at 9-2. At number 11, Hang Out the Stars trading at 9-2. It's 6-1 bar those. It's a pick 6. So pick 6, have you worked out the pick 6, Mr. Murray? Or?
I haven't.
Okay, so it's been Mr. Barbaros's turn.
Yes, Clyde, if I had to tip a pick 6, I'd only go 2 horses in the first leg. I'd take my chances.
Yeah.
This is an open maiden, which is a handicap, Clyde.
Right.
The top 2 in the market are both drawn out wide, carrying 61 kilograms. So I'm looking elsewhere for value. I'm certainly not writing them off, but I don't think that it's going to be as easy as what the market suggests.
Okay.
Number 1 catches my eye here, Donder Storm. It's only got 54 to shoulder. Go back to that last run, Clyde. He's 4.5 kilograms better off with Downing 7. So I'm very surprised to see him at his current odds. Cheek pieces get fitted. And Keenan Stain for Brett Crawford, their strike rate's very, very high. They do well when they team up together. So I'm going to say he's certainly the value in the race. The horse I'm looking for further improvement from is number 9, Marshall Field. Now, we fancied him last time out, but he did get a bit of interference. He should have finished closer. His previous runs were certainly eye-catching. So I'm expecting further improvement from him. But for me, I'm going 1 and 9. But like I say, the race doesn't stop there.
It's interesting. So you'd only go 1 and 9 in your pick 6?
Yes, you have to take your chances, Clyde.
I understand. I understand. The one's 5-1, and then what price is the one? 10, 11-1. So that's very interesting play. That's how you get the money, I guess.
Yeah, well, we're not here to play games.
Sure. I still think, look, he's found this horse, Dornerstorm, at any price. So there we go. There's the value. Don't leave that out your play. Daryl likes that quite a lot. Mr. Burrows, what's your take on this handicap?
Well, if you look at my pick 6, I have included both of those runners in. But Prometheus, my first choice. Now, this horse was staying on very strongly last time out, down the center of the track. He ran second to Inside Story. Inside Story came out and ran a fair race on his handicap debut, and the third placed runner was Culp Forest, who came out to win his next start. I think he's definitely the horse to beat. I know he's drawn out a bit deep. Laughing William interests me. I think he'll run a big race. Marshall Field, I think the drop back to a mile is going to be ideal. And Dorna Storm, he's not out of it with 54 kilos.
Well, you'll also be hoping for Prometea because of Kelp Forest in the same race, the last time they met. Let's have a look. Darren Burrow's gone horses. His banker comes up later on. That's in the second last leg of his pick six. He wants to banker the 4, who's Rio Carrari. Quite a few seem to be on that horse. And that's a 3,000 Rand pick six for today. Club C Stakes, it's over 1,800 metres, and Impetuous is scratched. Takeout number 1 not running in this race. It's the first leg of the jackpot, so make a note of that, and doubling up as 19 to 10 favourite number 7. The 2 is Mr. Monocle, second choice at 3 to 1, 33 to 10 about number 4 Machete Man, and then you can get 9 to 2 about number 6 Augusta Blue. So, and there are a few others in here that would have a chance, like Coronation Time, for example. Is doubling up the right one, Mr. Burrows?
He's one of my leading lights. I can tell you that Adam likes his horse here, Augusta Blue. He said he'll run a nice race. He's going to love this step up in trip, just because if you look at his last start, he came from a long way back. He said he knows the form line hasn't stood up, but he gave the field a lot of weight and he won a good race. There's more to come from this horse. Doubling up should be right there. He was stepped up in trip last time out. He showed improvement. And Mr. Monocle was a runaway winner last time out. He's a stable companion, but Richard Fourie has opted for the 7.
Okay, doubling up's an interesting horse. He's a lightly raced horse too, and Adam Marcus has got one in here that may well come back, run back-to-back victories. Got a chance in a race like this, and nothing particularly for me stands out for you.
Yeah, Clyde. I thought doubling up had every opportunity last night. The early part of the race didn't go exactly according to plan, but then Richard circled the field, got up into second position and appeared to be cruising going through the 400. Just didn't go on with his efforts, and Machete Man kicked away from him again. So I think coming back to the 1800, we could see a reversal in form, but Machete Man once again looks like he's going to get things his own way up front. He's very, very game when he gets the fractions right, Clyde, and he's only 1.5 kilos worse off. I can see him confirming that form, just the way the race is going to be run. So right. I'm not going to separate the two. I'm just going to say 4 and 7 to fight it out. Obviously, doubling up got more scope for improvement and probably better over the 1800.
Yeah, probably the case. And back at Kenilworth, all those sorts of factors. So will Justin Snaith fight out this race, or his horses anyway? Let's take a look at what the boys want to do. We've got jackpots that are worked out for you, with Darryl's going both 4 and 7. So for him, just those 2. Second leg, 2, 5 and 8. The third leg, he wants to go 1, 2 and 4. And the fourth leg, 2 and 4. Hello everybody, welcome back. Race number 5 on the card we're on to now, where Royal Aussie tops the boards. This is a social media reminder about our Twitter account, @Waited2Win, and our WhatsApp number, YouTube, 4racing.tv. We're on all the necessary platforms, and hopefully that you're part of all that. So Royal Aussie favourite, 15 to 10 to win here. We're jamming second choice at 9 to 2. 2 Fire Alley priced up at 5 to 1. Number 4 Tower Phase traded 5 to 1. Then number 1 Grin Carver 7 to 1, and they're betting 10 to 1 and better about the others. From a market perspective, they all seem to be on the side of Royal Aussie, but one or two whispers that may not be the case. Mr. Murray, what do you think?
Yeah, interesting race, Clyde. Royal Aussie now, he has a horse you can't fault his consistency, and I think the time off the track will certainly give him a chance to strengthen up even further. Done very little wrong to date. We saw Seat again coming to frank that form, winning the Derby from that form line. What I like over here has to be number 2, Fire Alley. Thought last time out in the Diadem over a distance too short, he was far from disgraced. Penultimate start, he had the worst of the draws. He only gave way late in that event. He has got a cracking draw, course and distance suited. Joint second best weighted. We saw Trip of Fortune come out and win the Horse Chestnut from that form line.
Correct.
We also saw Countdown win from there. So 2 runners, 2 winners. I'm going to say Fire Alley, the horse to beat. And we're jamming, yeah. Excuse me, Clyde. These halls aren't working. But look at 2FA now. 2FA is ultra consistent. Grant van Niekerk has got it off him to ride We're Jamming. Now he's stepping back up to the 7 furlongs. If he settles, he can certainly turn it on. And he does have ability. So for me, each way the 2, respect for the 5 and 8.
Okay. So, from Daryl Marie's perspective, Fire Alley is the one to beat. Let's go to Darren Burrows. Darren, how do you read it?
I thought Royal Aussie definitely the class in the race. You know, he's a 3-year-old. I know he's got to carry 60 kilos, but he placed in the Guineas behind Charles Dickens. He won that big race last time out, beating Dave the King, who's no slouch, and he could come back with a bang. Dangers, I thought a horse like 55er. The blinkers go on, handy galloping weight. We could see improvement. We're Jamming hasn't yet proven himself over 1400 meters, but I have heard from the stable that there are whispers that he could love the step up in trip. So I thought 8 to beat 7 and 5, and then Grinkov and Fire Alley for minor money.
Okay, so you're on the side of Royal Aussie at this point in time, but it does tend to sound open. So Darren Burrows is jackpot. He's going 1, 4, 5, 7, 8 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Bank of the 4 and 1, 3, 4, 5 and 8 at the back. On to the next race on the card. Now let's chat about race number 6 that comes up. And Market has got number 2, Source Quintus Light as favourite, at 15 to 4 at the moment. But joins with Gimmy's Lass at 15 to 4. And probably is the horse to beat here. 3 Pacific Green, 4 to 1. 5 Happy Chance trading at 9 to 2. And 9 to 2 about Golden Hostess. 6 to 1, number 1 Gimme Dat. So it's that open. And 1 outsider in your Eco of Life who's trading at 14 to 1. This is the Magnolia, and it's over the 1200 meters. I'll start with Darren Burrows. Let's talk to him about the race. Darren, Candice Bass Robinson, I'll talk about her. She's got a couple in here, or a few in here, that must have equal winning chances, I would have thought.
Definitely, Clyde. It's a competitive lineup. You know, you got to the class in the race has to be Golden Hostess, who ran 3rd in the Mallorca, but she earned her rating over a mile. So back to 1200 on collateral form, she's got a lot to do to beat Gimmy's Lassie and Quintus Light. So that's why I'm leaning towards a horse like Quintus Light. I thought she comes in here nicely weighted. She's run off the likes of Princess Khaled, Gem King. I think she'll be right there at the finish. Gimmy's Lassie. Now on that run in the Fillies Championship, she ran a nose in front of Golden Hostess, and she is 4.5 kilos better off at the weights, and Keegan DeMello in the saddle. So I'm going 2 to beat 4, and then a horse like Pacific Green with only 51 kilos to shoulder to fill the trifectas.
Yeah, and don't forget Golden Hostess wasn't far behind the Cape Fillies Guineas winner, Make It Snappy. So interesting race, and I think Candice going to. I think personally it's a Candice Bass race, but what do you make of it?
Sure.
Tough.
I don't know. Don't know what to make of it, Clyde. Quintus Light could be the one to beat. I mean, she's 7 kilograms better off with Golden Hostess for a length and a half beating. So that certainly, on paper, gives her a huge chance of reversing that form. Gimme Dat, I think she's a much better filly up the straight. You can see in the Southern Cross and the Cartier Scepter, she actually wore blinkers on those occasions, Clyde. They come back off. And Richard Free now takes the ride. I think she's a major player over here, and there's very little separating herself and Gimmy's Lassie on form. So I think 1, 2, and 4 to dominate. But this race has got me stumped.
It has. It certainly has. Golden Hostess. I keep looking at Golden Hostess and I see Desert Miracle. I see the likes of Going Up and, top horses that are in the race. So let's see. It depends distance. Well, a lot of this is around what distance suits best over this trip. Here we go. We've got selections for you from the boys. They are going Darren Burrows 2, 3, 4, 6 in this race. By 2 and 4 to pick 3. By 1, 3, 4, 5 at the back. It's a 40 Rand pick 3 from Darren Burrows. So the talk about the race in this event here is that what's his name? I beg your pardon. The favourite Rio Carrori. We've been talking about this all day because the guys have been bankering this, with Darren particularly, Daryl in his bipots as well. This horse is 15-10. Mufasa's the second choice at 4-1, and Irish Morning is trading at 6-1. So, banker of the day. We're still on the same page, Mr. Burrows. Are we going all in, or what's the story?
Definitely, Clyde. It's been a while since he last won, but have a look. I mean, he's a computer form sprint winner, grade one. He got touched off in the Cape Flying Championships by Gimme a Prince, fourth behind Bereave, beaten a length and a half. He's a top horse. I'm surprised to see the blinkers removed after showing improvement in the blinkers, but that's not concerning me too much. He's going to switch off a couple of lengths off them, and he's got a terrific turn of foot. So I'm going to say a possible banker, Rio Carrari. I made the danger Mr. Cobbs on that run in the Diadem Stakes. He is 4.5 kilos better off with Rio Carrari for a 2.5 length beating.
Yeah, and there are a few, don't forget, that are coming out of the die. By now, Fire Alley's one, for example, you would go all in. Yeah, but yeah, Darren makes a lot of sense. From your side, Daryl?
Yeah, I don't know if I banked this in my bipod, Clyde.
Didn't you? I thought you had a banker. No. Oh, where did you bank?
If I did bank this in my bipod, I'm not going to be going out because it's not part of the bipod. But anyway,
Oh, okay.
I
What,
banked it in the
your
PA.
Okay.
Yes. Clyde, have a look at the weights. Absolutely slung in over here. 7 pounds, 3.5 kilograms, best off. Back to his best. Excellent run in the Cape Flying. Far from disgraced in the Diadem. Blinkers come off. I'm not too concerned about that. But like Darren touched on, the only danger has to be Mr. Cobbs. He's touched on that weight turnaround. So for me, the exacts are 4 from 2.
Okay. So, Mr. Cobbs may well be the danger to Rio Carrari in a race like this. Can Craig Zaki do Candace Bass a favour? We'll see. Or will it be Rio Carrari and Richard Ferree? Let's see. The penultimate of the afternoon. It's called the Easter Sprint. We're celebrating Easter, and Rio Carrari, the one to beat. We're going to the mountain in the last race. Sugar Mountain is the name of this horse. It's 5-1, a nice price, I thought, one to beat. I want to ask Daryl Marie if he's on the same page, and he agrees that we can have a go with the Candace Bass horse here.
I like him very strong, Clyde.
Okay, that's good to hear. So we can
His
start.
later start, the winner went start to finish in the mud. He was never in contention. Just left alone at the back of the field. Going to strip a lot fitter. He's got the draw, course and distance, ideally suited. Lots in his favour, so I'll make him nice to beat. Have a look at number 4, Solar Power, now since he's returned as a
He
gelding.
says Sugar Mountain a jockey up, just as a matter of interest.
What do you say?
I'm just having a look at who rode. I see Aldo's been part of this horse for a while already.
Yes. Yeah.
And I see Devon rode it last time to seven lengths to Silver Falcon at Durbanville, but back at Kenilworth, that's why I like it strong. But I'm glad you like it. What else do you like as a danger?
Yeah, I'll make it 1 and 4 over here, Clyde. But it is a tricky contest if you look past the two of them. Solar Power certainly turned the corner as a gelding. He's here on the up.
Okay.
Track and trip suited as well.
Any sort of outside chance to? I keep coming back to Blackberry Malt. I'm very disappointed in Blackberry Malt. No chance.
He picked up a hefty
Must
penalty.
we give up on that now?
Yeah, look at his penalty he picked up.
Is it? Okay, leave it. Okay. All right. So we're giving up. I'm sorry to those that are involved with Blackberry. Sorry to the guys that we're giving up on that. All right, Mr. Burrows, your last one. What are we doing?
Clyde, there's a lot of course specialists here. You got Solar Power, 3 wins from 5 starts over course and distance and 2 seconds. You got Sugar Mountain, 3 from 3 over course and distance.
Beautiful.
Nevada King also done well. Kingdom of Heaven returning after the gelding. I thought Solar Power the horse to beat. His 2 comeback runs after a break, or 3 comeback runs, should I say. He's coming on the right way. Sugar Mountain, I was at the course to watch Kelp Forest win last time out, and the rain was pouring down towards the end of the meeting. And Sugar Mountain, he tucked in towards the back, but he was over racing. He was very fierce. I think it was because he was returning after a break and he was very fresh. I wasn't happy with that, and I thought he might need one more run back to tighten up, because his first run back and his second run back are right on top of each other. So that's my concern with Sugar Mountain. I thought Solar Power the value in the race.
Okay, you look for Solar Power. You are worried about the fact that the last time we saw Sugar Mountain was just a few weeks ago, and that could be a little bit of worry after a 3 or a 4 month break. And that may well be the case. Daryl Marie, however, is also on the each way with Sugar Mountain, and we're hoping that happens to arrive for the Waiter to Win team. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back again when we go to the Vaal on Thursday.